Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today as we recognize September 2025 as Hunger Action Month. Fittingly, today is also Hunger Action Day. I am pleased to be standing with my fellow Hunger Caucus member, Senator Judy Schwank, as well as Senator Malone, as well as Carolyn Long Earl. Secretary Arkush couldn't be here today, but Executive Deputy Secretary Andrew Barnes is with us. The Feeding PA CEO, Julie Bancroft, and Central PA Food Bank CEO, Sheila Ehrlich. Also with us today is Randy Ferguson, Executive Director of Hunter Sharing the Harvest, which is Randy right there, and also members of the Zonta Club of Harrisburg Hershey. We would not be able to advance critical policies and hunger initiatives without the collaboration and support of these individuals who are experts in their fields. Unfortunately, every corner of our Commonwealth is impacted by food insecurity. With a population of over 13 million, 1 in 8 Pennsylvanians face hunger. That is over 1.7 million residents continuing to go hungry, with 475,000 of those being children. High prices, among other factors, are contributors to why many Pennsylvanians are facing hunger. Many of them, unfortunately, have to choose between paying their bills and paying for groceries for their families. Many of the families who are experiencing food insecurity live within lower income areas and have limited access to a local grocery store and healthy food, which is essential to live a sustainable, healthy lifestyle. Not to mention, having limited or inadequate meals can also lead to experiencing declining health, risk for chronic disease, and increased medical costs, which can overburden Pennsylvanians already struggling. Through the Hunger Caucus, we have been able to contribute fresh produce through our Capitol Hunger Garden, which began its first season in 2010. It is maintained by the hardworking volunteers, the Penn State Master Gardeners, and Department of General Services. The food harvested through our garden is donated to the Downtown Daily Bread here in Harrisburg, where they prepare nutritious meals for those in need. So far this year, over 600 pounds of produce has been donated, with more left to harvest this season. I'd like to give a special shout out also to Steve Cordero and the rest of the Penn State Master Gardeners who work hard each season. They're here every week weeding and picking produce to make sure the garden stays in tip-top shape. Now I'd like to invite my colleague, Senator Judy Schwank, to say a few words. Senator Schwank.
Thank you, Senator Vogel, and let me add, please, how much I appreciate your leadership on this caucus. Thank you so much for that. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome. In my remarks, I say Happy Hunger Action Month. Perhaps we should be happy that we're about to take action, but more so, welcome to it. Welcome to the work and the effort that needs to continue beyond a month, but all year round, to make sure that we are working on food insecurity and inspire each of us to do our part to help those in need. As we all know too well, hunger is not really a faraway problem. About 1 in 8 Pennsylvanians experience food insecurity. And it's important to note that this is happening in all kinds of communities throughout our Commonwealth. Hunger doesn't discriminate. I often talk about how diverse Pennsylvania is. We have marvelous farmland, suburbs, vibrant urban centers, vast rural areas, mountains, you name it. With that diversity, however, comes very different communities and very different priorities. But hunger is an issue that cuts across all of them. Whether you live in my district in Berks County or all the way across the state in Beaver County, food insecurity is a problem. The Hunger Caucus is one way for us at the state level to come together and think about what we can do to make sure no Pennsylvanian goes without the food they need. Our Hunger Garden, which Senator Vogel mentioned, right outside the door here, is one way we're helping here in central Pennsylvania. We're also working with food banks to support them and help them provide better services. Making sure that we have an efficient SNAP or food stamp program here in Pennsylvania is another crucial step. We all know there is much work to do to combat hunger, and as resources are slipping away from us on the federal level, we even more have to rededicate ourselves, not only as a Commonwealth, but as individuals, to make sure that we understand that we're acknowledging that hunger exists in our communities right next door to us, as well as throughout the entire Commonwealth. We each have to do our part. There's so much more work that can be done to combat hunger, but I truly believe that this is an issue we can address together. That's what Senator Vogel and I do on the Senate Rural Affairs and Agriculture Committee, and we'll continue to do so, do our best, along with our partners, both in the Department of Human Services as well as the Department of Agriculture, to find the solutions that will help us to end food insecurity in Pennsylvania. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Swank. Next, I'd like to invite Carolyn Long Earl, Director of the Bureau of Food Assistance at the Department of Agriculture, to share with us the impacts of hunger in our Commonwealth and resources that are available through the Bureau.
Thank you, Senator Vogel, and thank you for your remarks this morning, Senator Schwank. Good morning, everyone, and welcome as we kick off September as Hunger Action Month. As you've heard a little bit this morning, Hunger Action Month provides an opportunity for all of us to raise awareness about the existence of hunger in all 67 counties within Pennsylvania, but it also provides us an opportunity to inspire action to help end food insecurity. Action that can include volunteering, lending your voice to support initiatives that will help to end hunger, and donating your funds. As we kick off Hunger Action Month, it's worth noting that the budget reconciliation package passed by Congress and signed into law on Independence Day by the President actually began to take effect last week on September 1st, the first day of Hunger Action Month. Over the next year, this legislation will likely result in more than 144,000 unique individuals in Pennsylvania losing access to 100% of their SNAP benefits, SNAP previously known as food stamps. To put it in a more visual context for any of you who might be NFL fans, that number of individuals could more than fill both Lincoln Financial Field and Acrisure Stadium, or as I think most people still know it, Heinz Field. So we know that our charitable food partners are already seeing record levels of demand for food assistance, even higher than those we saw at the height of the COVID pandemic, when the national news outlets were showing images of hundreds of cars waiting in line for food right here in Pennsylvania. While people are no longer lined up waiting in their cars for food, make no mistake, the need is still there and it is still real. On average, over the past year, the food banks that the Department of Agriculture works with have reported to us that they are serving more than 2.1 million individuals each and every month. And those additional Pennsylvanians who are going to lose access to their SNAP benefits in the coming year are only going to add to this demand. But during Hunger Action Month, there are actions that everyone can take to help abate this demand. One such action is to raise your voice. Raise your voice in support of increased federal funding through the Federal Farm Bill and through increased state funding for food assistance programs. At the state level, in his 2025 budget proposal, Governor Shapiro proposed an additional $8 million investment in two programs that help to support the state's charitable food system. And those are programs that we operate through the Department of Agriculture. The first is the State Food Purchase Program. That program provides grants to each of our 67 counties to help our regional food banks and our food pantries purchase additional food to supplement what they get from USDA in order to help feed our neighbors. The other program is the Pennsylvania Agricultural Surplus System, and Governor Shapiro requested an additional $4 million for this program. This program really exemplifies what we do at agriculture. It's a win-win partnership between Pennsylvania agricultural producers who may have excess product to sell, and between the charitable food system who really needs those fresh, healthy foods. Investment in this program would both help our neighbors in need and it would help our farmers to recoup some of the costs of their production of these products. As our state legislators continue to work on finalizing the 25-26 state budget, let them know that these programs are important to you. Let them know that the most important action they can take this Hunger Action Month is to pass a state budget that invests in these and other programs that help to support the food needs of low-income Pennsylvanians. With more than 1.7 million Pennsylvanians already at risk of food insecurity, including more than 475,000 children, the need for action is now. Thank you so much for the opportunity this morning.
Thank you, Karen. Department of Human Services Executive Director Andrew Barnes is here because Secretary Arkush was unable to be with us today. So, Deputy Secretary Barnes, say a few words, please.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Senators. Thank you, members of the Hunger Caucus, for your dedication to fighting chronic hunger and food insecurity in Pennsylvania. Obviously, something that far too many Pennsylvanians experience every day. Back in July, our DHS team had the opportunity to volunteer at the South Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and saw firsthand the great work that is being done. It was incredible to see not only the hard work and dedication of the food bank staff and volunteers, but to know that we're helping to feed older adults in Pennsylvania and make sure they had just a little bit extra help that month to put food on their tables. Unfortunately, as you've heard, hunger and food insecurity are issues that far too many Pennsylvanians face, including older adults, children, people with chronic health needs like diabetes. Everyone deserves access to enough healthy and nourishing food so that they can go to school, work, and simply live their lives with dignity that we all deserve. I'm proud to be here to highlight the Shapiro administration's commitment to helping individuals and families in Pennsylvania. Together with our Pennsylvania General Assembly members, our dedicated charitable food networks, and partners in agriculture and private business, we are making progress combating hunger. This summer, the Department of Human Services once again was able to participate in the Sunbucks program. It's a federal program that provides eligible families with an extra $120 per child to help buy food during the summer months when kids are not in school. That serves approximately 1.3 million children in Pennsylvania who qualify for this program. In addition, Governor Shapiro's 25-26 proposed budget includes funding universal free breakfast in schools statewide for the third year in a row, helping to ensure Pennsylvania has 1.7 million students who continue to receive free breakfast at school, regardless of their income. These are tremendous accomplishments, helping to ensure that every child in PA has a healthy foundation to help them grow and learn. These targeted interventions are a smart and effective way to reduce food insecurity, promote good nutrition, and manage chronic health conditions. Beyond these new initiatives, DHS oversees the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, as you've heard. It serves nearly 2 million Pennsylvanians to purchase food every day. And since SNAP benefits can only be used to buy food, it frees up money in families' budgets to purchase other essential items like diapers, medicine, bigger shoes for growing children. So I encourage any Pennsylvania who needs help paying for food to apply for SNAP. Many people may not know this, but SNAP funds make a big difference in Pennsylvania. Each month, Pennsylvania SNAP recipients receive more than $350 million in SNAP funds from the federal government that helps individuals and families put food on the tables. And those are the same dollars used to support grocers, food retailers, farmers, and Pennsylvania agriculture industry. With our charitable food network, it's an essential part of the Pennsylvania access to healthy foods. This network cannot replace SNAP, which provides 9 meals for every 1 meal provided by our charitable network. Food banks and food pantries are there every day to help fill in the gaps for people in need, no matter the circumstances, and they are facing an increasing demand. So this Hunger Action Month, I encourage my fellow Pennsylvanians to please help your local food banks and food pantries if you are able, whether that is with a donation of food or money or by giving your time to volunteer. Imagine the positive impact we will have when we work together towards eliminating hunger and food insecurity. We can all do our part this month for Hunger Action Month and throughout this year to create a healthier Pennsylvania for all. I'm now happy to introduce Julie Bancroft.
Thank you, Secretary. And as he said, Julie Bancroft, CEO of Feeding Pennsylvania, will now highlight what her organization does.
Good morning. I'm honored to speak on behalf of the 9 Feeding America food banks, which serve 1.7 million neighbors facing hunger across all 67 counties of the Commonwealth. I want to thank Senator Vogel for his leadership on the Hunger Caucus, Senator Schwank, Senator Malone, and all of our other partners here today for their tireless efforts to ensure that no Pennsylvanian goes to bed hungry. As we begin Hunger Action Month, we must recognize the realities of food insecurity in our communities. I'm going to repeat a lot of what you've heard already, but I think it's important that we hear those numbers again and again. Hunger in America is at its highest point in a decade, In Pennsylvania, food insecurity among neighbors has increased by 40% over 2 years. The increasing need is worsened by historic cuts to SNAP and Medicaid, which help individuals and families stretch their dollars to buy food and manage health outcomes. Our network of food banks simply can't close the gap created by these cuts. But Hunger Action Month is a time for education and collective effort. It's a chance to recognize that hunger isn't just an urban or rural issue. It's widespread and can affect anyone. Every community and district in this state has someone wondering where their next meal will come from. Hunger Action Month helps us raise awareness about what hunger really looks like, parents skipping meals so their children can eat, seniors managing health issues while struggling to afford healthy foods, and working people just one expected car repair away from turning to a food pantry for help. We often say hunger can be solved, but for that to happen, all of us need to contribute. Let's come together during this Hunger Action Month to support our neighbors facing food insecurity. Sign up for a volunteer shift at your local food bank or pantry. Donate food or money to your food bank. Stay vigilant in advocating for programs and funding that help people access the food they need to thrive. Specifically, we need a state budget that funds the PA agricultural surplus system and the state food purchase program, which are vital investments in our state's agricultural economy and our communities. I encourage everyone to embrace Hunger Action Month as a call for collective action, because when we work together, progress toward our mission of ending hunger becomes achievable. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie. I would now like to introduce Central Pennsylvania Food Bank CEO Sheila Ehrlich to say a few words about the impact her food bank continues to have here in Harrisburg and the importance of food banks here in our Commonwealth.
Thank you, Senator. It's a privilege to be here and a privilege to do the work that we do within Central Pennsylvania. Central Pennsylvania Food Bank serves 27 counties within the mid-state to the top of the New York border to the Maryland border. And we serve 268,000 individuals each month, providing them with nutritious food each and every month through 1,100 partner agencies. And last year distributed more than 75 million pounds of food throughout our network, which is a tremendous number. And through the work of all of you here and individuals within our communities, we're able to do that. State Food Purchase and PASS are vital programs to make a difference in the lives of Pennsylvanians who are hungry. With these programs, Central Pennsylvania Food Bank and its 1,130 partner agencies help to alleviate hunger in our 27 counties. We have found in our research across 12 counties and 3,500 households that food pantries and the charitable food system reduce hunger by 40 to 50% among households who visit these programs 2 times a month or more, an enormous impact on hunger. We are encouraged by the General Assembly's continued support of the State Food Purchase Program and the PA Agricultural Surplus System. We're appreciative of Senator Vogel and the Hunger Caucus and for all of the work that you do to support our programming and our initiatives. And we're looking forward to all the ways that you can impact Hunger Action Month and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. One way we can continue to support our residents experiencing food insecurity is by supporting your local food banks like Central Pennsylvania Food Bank. If able, I encourage our communities to donate non-perishable food items to their area food banks and help make a difference to these families in need. Like I said, my office has a box outside our office up on the 2nd floor for any employees or senators here that would like to donate. Drop it off in the box, but also your county food banks, your local area food banks, everyone will be very much appreciative of your support, not only in September, but throughout the year. So once again, I want to thank everyone for coming today and have a good day. Thank you very much.